Welcome back. This is Shooter Hunt for a Coffee and Curveball production of State to the Nation. Today, we got the premium talent of California on here, specifically SoCal, with Scouting Director Les Lukach. Les, what's up?
Dude, man, we're getting some of this PNW weather down here, man. It's kind of wrecking havoc on the high school season, but games are still being played and finding a way. But it's been kind of a wet spring so far. That's definitely the story of the spring.
Oh man, a light sweater. Those poor SoCal baseball players have to bundle up. But let's talk about some of the draft talent. Each year the draft talent coming out of California, that's kind of where you have to start. The number of players on MLB rosters in the big leagues, California is kind of where it's at. But at the top, we have a new number one in your state. Who is it?
Yeah, Ralph Velasquez out at Huntington Beach. I think he's proved here in the early goings of the season that the bat talent is just special, as you saw at our preseason invitational tournament, and it's got an opportunity to play. Obviously, as he goes up the ladder there in pro ball. The question on him's always been, where does he play? But he's getting a lot of innings behind the plate, man, and showing that he can handle that position. The arm has always played back there, which is awesome. We've had a couple videos put out just highlighting his improved defensive stuff. So, he's really improved in that area too. But the bat speed and the bat potential is outstanding.
Yeah, that bat is the carrying tool for Ralph there. And as exciting as the raw power is, and it's elite and maybe the top in this class, his hit tool is almost equally as impressive. The balance, his ability to remain compact to the frame, it's almost like his arms are a little bit shorter, which allows him to stay direct to the ball while showing off that explosive barrel and obvious power potential. But the decision making, his ability to track back there, the bat will be the carrying tool. Whether or not he sticks behind the plate, he's going to stick in the lineup. But he's not alone. Another guy that I love, Oregon State recruit. He's at Jay Serra playing on the left side, Trent Caraway.
Yeah, you saw him out in Arizona recently, and what he does is just continues to hit, man. And he's doing that right now for Jay Serra. They've kind of had a little bit of a rough patch right now as a team, but he continues to hit for them. He's batting leadoff. I don't think there's any question on the bat anymore, right? I mean, they've seen him enough, and people have seen enough out of him at the highest level against the highest competition to know that, hey, the bat's going to play. Again, it's positionally what do you do with him? Do you start him at third? Do you maybe give him a chance at short, which seems to be a less than desirable idea right now with a lot of scouts? But just in having conversations with them, it seems like third base is where they're going to start him. Worst case, you move him out to right field. But the bat right now, based on conversations again with scouts as we head as we're into the spring, excuse me, has been, the bat's going to play no matter what. It's just, how much do you want the bat to play?
And what I love about him is he swings angry and he plays mean. There's an expectation of success when he gets into that box to do damage. There's controlled aggression from the right side. Obviously, that power there. After watching him this spring and loving him in the past, he is in that upper echelon of right-handed bats in this class. When you're talking about Aiden Miller from Florida, who's probably a little bit of or a better athlete and much better defender right now. But that bat is right on par up there, and I'd expect some guys to really dig in deep, especially playing in the Trinity League. But one more draft guy we're looking at, one of the younger guys. He's a birthday darling in this class, Eric Batanti. Dude competes.
Oh, dude, how about what we saw that night you were there at the preseason invitational, man? I mean, he competes. That's an understatement, right? I mean, he got on the mound. It was electric, but obviously, again, another guy where the bat is the carrying tool here. He's playing shortstop for Aquinas and he's doing it well, but it's easy to see him slide over to third base, power left-handed hitting bat. He is a young guy, as you mentioned, the birthday darling of this draft class from Southern California. He'll only still be 17 when, the draft happens.
Yep.
But, you and I were talking off air and, there's some things that can be fixed still with the swing. But I think that the swing is showing enough, and the power and the power potential is easy to see. Look, the guy hit two balls out at Dodger Stadium as a high school junior, right? I mean, come on, and against some really good arms, right? So it's not like this is a kid who can't do it. It's just a matter of, is he going to do it consistently enough? And again, that birthday darling, deal, that bodes really well for him.
Yeah, I think it's definitely an intriguing 23 class that you have out there where there's tons of depth. What are we seeing at the top? Who's going to be able to separate themselves? Who shines on the bright spotlight in those big events, especially some of the big ones that are coming up that will be heavily scouted. But moving on, some more preseason standouts in the state. First, a guy that you've been in love with for a couple years now, been banging the doors, trying pots and pans, telling everybody about, but an infielder from Santa Margarita, Blake Wilson, UW commit.
Yeah, dude, I love Blake, and I make no bones about that. Anytime you got a guy that's an all CIF safety in football and is an infielder that
Okay.
that plays like Wilson, that catches your attention. I mean, look, here's my story on Blake Wilson. He came to the pro case in September of last year, hadn't seen a pitch in 2 months, goes 2 for 3 off 92 plus, steals a bag, makes a play at short, and makes a play in left, right? And the guy hasn't seen a pitch in 2 months. So that immediately, and he ran a sub 6.8. That immediately catches your attention. And he's off to an incredible start, right? And it's funny because I go back to December and a conversation I had with a few scouts, and not many knew about him, and that's starting to change now, right? It's a really good team, obviously number 3 in the state for us. They've got a boatload of other prospects, and he's starting to get some attention. I mean, he's hitting 493 with
Oh,
eight of his 10 runs. 8 of his 10 runs scored, and 5 of his 7 RBIs have all come in league. And that's against Olu and Jay Serra. So, the guy is on the rise, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a team that sneaks in there, as we get into April and May and starts having some more serious conversations, because I mean, this is a guy that's very deserving of that.
I mean, Santa Margarita is going to be at NHSI. He's not going to be hiding from anybody if he breaks out there. But
Right.
he's not alone. A guy that I loved early on, Sierra Canyon, Caden Hediger, backstop, just can really hit the baseball.
Yeah, I think, you and I first kind of really started to like Hediger out at the Future Games a couple years ago
Mhm.
during his PP session when he was just crushing baseballs from the left side. And then he hopped over to the right side and he hit a few that was pretty, eye-opening as well. But, it's a left-handed power bat that doesn't strike out. That's the easiest way to describe Hediger. He hits to all fields, but the pull side power right now is very real. He's got something like 4 or 5 home runs already this season. He's finally fully healthy. He blew out his knee last year, and he's getting a chance to show that, he really can catch. The catch and throw has always been really good with the strong,
Mhm.
powerful arm. If you recall that from future games, and
Yep.
and, now he's sharing time with another senior. But when he is catching, he is really opening some eyes. But again, the bat right now is the carrying tool. Just last night, he turned on 94 and he one hopped right center field for a stand-up double. That against another, legitimate draft guy here in SoCal. And this is a bat that is gaining more and more attention, and with more and more visits behind the plate, or eyes on him behind the plate. This is a guy that you can easily see climb boards as we head into the draft in July.
And we got another catcher, this one in the 24 class, Kalen Applefield, committed to Cal.
Yeah, longtime Cal commit, transferred to La Costa Canyon. The first thing you notice about him is he's a lot fitter, and the result is a lot louder contact. I think he committed to Cal as a freshman, and now the bat is catching up to kind of all the hype, if you will.
Hmm.
And the catch and throw has always been pretty good. It's above average high school wise. In terms of when he gets to the Pac-12, it'll need a little bit of work, but he still has a couple of years. Another guy where the left-handed bat is the carrying tool.
Death, taxes, and Tommy Bridges turning in a quality start. We're going to TCU recruit from Harvard Westlake, right-hander in this 24 class. Every time we see him, he puts up a great outing. Doesn't matter the other opposing team. Looks like the velo's ticked up a little bit this spring.
Yeah, it has. We saw him in the preseason invitational there, and it was up to 89 on a really cold night that first night. And we Joey got eyes on him last week, and he touched 92 or 91, excuse me,
Okay.
several times. So the velo is ticking up, excuse me, on with Tommy, which is an outstanding proposition with him because, as you know, the off speed and the changeup are some of the best. And nobody competes like Tommy Bridges, and you put it as well as it could be put, right? Death taxes and Tommy Bridges throwing a strong outing.
Yeah, he's got that Jeremy Guthrie type tactician, in and out, moving it around. Zach Greinke will you all over the place, changing speeds, does a great job. Can also swing it a little bit too. One more guy on here at Huntington Beach who had a slow start, but is definitely heating up lately. He's a UCLA recruit, Aiden Espinoza.
Yeah, he did start slow. Huntington Beach started slow as a team, right? And now they're starting to gain some steam, and uncoincidentally, so is Aiden Espinoza. 421 in his last 5 games. They're moving him around the lineup. He's hitting first, he's hitting fourth, he's hitting fifth. They just start, trying to get him going, and it looks like it's working. He's doing a really good job of getting on base with that movement in the lineup, and he's scoring runs and he's driving in runs too. He has almost 2-to-1 walks to Ks, which is a good sign for him. Out of the leadoff spot certainly. But he's doing a really good job of getting it going. As above average runner, strong outfielder defensively. Who is, as you mentioned, headed to UCLA.
Okay, I want to shift over to my favorite part coming out of California. Who are the uncommitted guys, the underclassmen that college coaches have to know about? Looking at the top, we got a junior from a very talented, polished, and crisp Cypress squad, John Short.
Man, I'm hesitant to blow these guys up, Shooter, because we're hoping to get several of these guys to come to the future games with us. But hey, here we go. Shorty, he's a third baseman, right-handed pitcher, strike thrower. Was a Team USA guy last summer. He rakes out of when he plays third. Sometimes he DHs. Shorter, stronger build. Mid 80s fastball with a changeup and a breaking ball. But it's his ability to pitch and pitch backwards and that really helps him out right now as the velo continues to gain.
Uh, uh-oh, we got a SoCal shortstop who can really pick it in the 24 class at Hart High School.
Yeah, man. Braden Jeffries, I saw him against Villa Park a couple weeks ago. And, not only can he pick it, but he's a left-handed hitting shortstop that can really get the barrel on the ball too, which is, fun to watch, as you know. But the defense right now has gone from good to really good. There was always some questions of, hey, can he stay at short? The bat's never been a question. Hey, can he stay at short? To me, the answer is absolutely, depending on the level. Is he an SEC shortstop? Probably not, but he's a shortstop at a lot of levels in college baseball, no question.
Okay, what about Shane Miranda, soft catcher at St. Aug? Looks like he started last year as a freshman.
Yeah, man. Last year he was their starting catcher as a freshman, left-handed hitting catcher down in San Diego. He was at our preseason All-State underclass. 2 for 3 there with the ball off the wall into the right center field. Really good catch and throw, as you can imagine. You start at a school like Saints as a freshman, you better know what you're doing. And he handles it, man. He handles a really good pitching staff there at Saints too, and it's getting to the point where you're seeing the development behind the plate catching up to the bat.
I'm looking at an arm here, and Santa Margarita is off to a great start. They'll probably be in the national rankings very quickly. And if they're having that big start against big teams, you got to have some big arms. Hayden George, right-hander in that 25 class.
Yeah, I saw them in December out in Palm Desert, and Chris Malik, the head coach there at Santa Margarita, mentioned him, and he said he really likes him, and he said he's got a chance. But then at the end, he said, he's going to need to throw innings for us. So it's like it doesn't matter how much you like a kid in December, he's going to need him to throw innings for you. And George has certainly proved to be, a really strong answer and option for Santa Margarita. He's a smooth operator on the mound, mid to upper 80s, way more in there, but some people I've talked to have kind of compared him to Griffin Canning at that age, which is quite the comparison, if you follow the Trinity League,
Yeah.
and obviously beyond the Trinity League. But it's an easy operation down the mound, gains ground, repeats. The mechanics are clean. He's about 6'2" right now, but there's still a whole lot of room for growth in that frame.
Awesome. And then one of my favorite arms from last year's PBR Future Games, heading back down to San Diego and St. Aug, Grayson Bowles.
Yeah, Bowles came out to the underclass games last fall and, touched 90 and was just stoked, right? And so, then he tagged us on a video where he's 91 now, in the early parts of the spring in his first start. So the progression is starting to get there for him. Big bodied guy, 6'3", big lower half. I mean, it's just the physical frame where the upper half has yet to catch up to the lower half, but he's already, spinning it at 91, and pretty good breaking ball and feel for the changeup is the thing that really impresses. And as had 6 strikeouts and 2 relief appearances out at the future games against 2 quality teams.
Oh, yeah. Look for him on Shooter's short list as a must follow this spring and summer. But Les, thanks for hopping on. This has been State to the Nation, California.